No one in the national media, or really even in Steelers media, is talking about this Steelers player that I believe will be the most impactful player on the Pittsburgh Steelers offense this season, okay? And spoiler alert, it's not a quarterback, all right? So before I reveal who this player is and break down why I think he's going to be so important to the Steelers' offensive success this year, let me know down there in the comments section, who is a Steelers player that is flying underneath the radar this year? Is it Van Jefferson? Is it Scotty Miller? Is it Calvin Austin III? Is it somebody else? Is it Keanu Benton? Let me know down there in the comments section who's a player on the Steelers roster that's getting slept on right now. So the player we're going to be talking about today is none other than Jaylen Warren, the running back, who I think is going to have a breakout superstar quality season in his third year in the National Football League. And I think that there's a really good argument to be made that Jaylen Warren is Pittsburgh's most important player on offense this year. Okay, and there are four main reasons why I believe this to be the case. The first being, this is a run-heavy offense with Arthur Smith, okay? Arthur Smith is somebody that's coming in here, and obviously he's known for the run games that he built both in Tennessee and in Atlanta, okay? Cordero Patterson was one of the leading rushers in football for a year in this offense, right? So you're going to see lots of under center, lots of running, which is going to provide a lot of opportunities for both Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren. And speaking of this dynamic between these two backs, I mean, it's very obvious to me when you watch the film, Jaylen Warren is Pittsburgh's best running back on this team. Now, Najee Harris has his role to play, and I'm not doing any of this. I'm not comparing these numbers to bash on Najee, okay? I think that he's very, very important to this offense. But you just look at the stats last year. Touches, Najee Harris definitely had more touches, okay? But the yards per touch wasn't even close. Over a full yard more per touch for Jaylen Warren last year compared to Najee Harris. Najee got more of the goal line work, which is why he had more touchdowns. But look at the first downs, man. Jaylen had less touches, but he had more first downs than Najee Harris. If you guys don't know, man, first downs are super important to the analytics departments of these NFL teams because it moves the sticks. It increases their chances of not only scoring, but scoring touchdowns. And those first downs are super important. Jaylen Warren was leading this team last year in first downs. And then you look at the points above replacement, that's both rushing and receiving combined. Jaylen Warren blows Najee Harris out of the water, worth nearly 10 more points than Najee Harris, despite having 74 less touches than Najee last year. So you look at it from an efficiency standpoint, Warren is the better running back. There's no question about that from a statistic point of view. But also, another thing that goes into Warren's favor is I think Arthur Smith's wide zone heavy offense benefits him more. He has an excellent jump cut, one of the best in football in my opinion. His contact balance is insane. You guys have watched this guy run. You cannot just simply put a hand on him or an arm and bring him down. You have to put your full body into Jaylen Warren to bring him down. This is a really, really good scheme for him to take advantage of. And not saying that Najee's necessarily a terrible fit, but he's had vision issues in the past. He doesn't have quite as explosive of a jump cut as Jaylen Warren does. And to be clear, again, I'm not here to bash Najee Harris. He has a very important role to play in this offense as kind of that bigger, bruising running back that can take up early down work, short area work, goal line work. All that stuff is important to have that big bruising back to get those 3-4 yards when you need 2 or 3 yards, right? But you look at Jaylen Warren, what he brings to the table, it's a whole nother level of explosiveness. It's a whole nother level of contact balance and being able to make guys miss and vision that Najee Harris just doesn't have and has really never had in his time here with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, and I think that this is indicative based on what the Steelers did with Najee Harris's fifth-year option. They declined it because I think they see Jaylen Warren is more valuable to this football team, and he's probably the guy that they're going to end up paying at the end of the day. Now, let me know, who's better down there in the comments section. Did I convince you that Jaylen Warren is the number one running back here in Pittsburgh? Type JW. Or if you think Najee Harris is still top dog here in Pittsburgh, type NH down there in the comments section for today's pinned comment. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. And when that happens, take advantage of that time by answering today's pinned question. Another reason why I think Jaylen Warren is going to have a breakout season this year, and he's going to be the most important offensive player for this team, is that he's a legit wide receiver. Not only is he the best pure rusher on this football team, but he's also one of the best wide receivers on this team as well. And for a team that is kind of strapped for wide receiver talent right now, Jaylen Warren can provide a lot of help in the screen game. You look at the receiving points above replacement last year for the Steelers. Dionte Johnson was first, Pickens was second, Freiermuth was third, and then Jaylen Warren, a running back, ranked fourth at 4.9 points above replacement as a receiver. So in the screen game, he's going to be used a lot, especially if the Steelers receivers are having a hard time getting open. They're going to, get yards by saying, hey, Jaylen, we're going to get you a quick screen pass. We're going to put blockers in front of you, and you're going to do what you do. He was super effective in the screen game last year, even in Matt Canada's terrible offense. I can only imagine what Arthur Smith is going to draw up for this kid, and that combination of being able to be an impact both as a rusher and as a pass catcher, I mean, it's just monumental. It's monumental for this team. And then finally here, I don't think Jaylen Warren gets enough credit for the fact that he is a budding superstar at the running back position, right? He's not just a good running back or a good number 2 back. This guy, the numbers that he put up last year per touch are just absolutely incredible. This is somebody that has an incredible jump cut. He's super strong, too. You can't bring him down with an arm tackle. He's really good in pass protection, and he's good as a receiver. He is the complete package as a running back that reminds me a little bit of prime Austin Eckler. And you look at the points above replacement leaders on the offense last year. Jaylen Warren was first. He was the number 2 running back last year, and he was still the most valuable player on the Steelers offense over Dionte Johnson, over Mason Rudolph, who had a nice little stretch there at the end of the season, over George Pickens, and of course, over Najee Harris. And if Jaylen Warren being the most valuable offensive player last season doesn't get you enough to get excited for Jaylen Warren, let's compare him to the Offensive Player of the Year, Christian McCaffrey. Yards per carry. The only person that had more yards per carry than McCaffrey, or more than Warren, was McCaffrey himself. McCaffrey was at 5.4, and Warren was at 5.3 point per rush. I mean, that is an ungodly number from Jaylen Warren right there. And then when you take into account every touch, okay, every time they touched the football, what was their points above replacement per touch, okay? Christian McCaffrey was lower than Jaylen Warren. This is the Offensive Player of the Year, and Jaylen Warren was more valuable per touch than C-Mac. That is how good of a player Jaylen Warren is, and I think that this is going to be the year where he finally gets the opportunity to be the number 1 running back. He's going to get the ball a lot in the screen game. He's going to get the ball a lot in this run-heavy offense, and I think he is going to be the breakout star on offense for the Steelers. I think Pat Freiermuth is going to be another guy that has a breakout season here. I think Russell Wilson will have a big-time bounce-back season. But the guy that's going to be the main engine of the Steelers offense, it's going to be Jaylen Warren with his ability to make guys miss, with his ability to jump cut and get explosive run plays going. All right? His ability to catch passes out of the backfield and pick up first downs in very crucial third down situations. This guy is the entire package, and I think he's going to be the most important offensive player on the Steelers offense this season. Now, if you disagree with me here, let me know down there in the comments section. Who's going to be the most productive Steeler on offense here in 2024? Do you agree with me that it's going to be Jaylen Warren? Do you think it's going to be George Pickens, which could happen very well? Could it be Pat Freiermuth? Could it be Najee Harris? Let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. Let me know what you guys think. And make sure you get down there in the comments section as well. If you made it to the end of today's show, type real one in all caps in the comments section if you made it to the end of today's show. Thank you to everybody that supports the channel. Make sure you click that subscribe button right now if you haven't already for more Steelers news and rumors content all throughout the 2024 offseason heading into Steelers training camp.